Alright, fuckers, welcome back to Practicing Portraits, an artwod roadmap, right? What is artwod? The best platform in the world to teach you how to draw from imagination. They give you the work, not the shortcut. Work that lets you draw like this after 3 years and 7 months of practice. That was a great fucking segue. Yeah, I've been drawing since November 1st, 2022. It's fucking June 1st, 2026, right? This channel is a repository of my art practice, and to also prove that anybody can fucking draw, because it's literally everything I've drawn, everything I've practiced, right? It's all practice has been cataloged. The fundamentals, this type of shit, is 90% of my practice, and that's what allows me to draw things like this that are believable, not great, not well composed, not well designed, not well textured, but simply very three-dimensionally believable from imagination, right? So with that being said, please get your pen, get your paper, and draw along with me, because I don't feel like fucking drawing today at all, bro. I was literally dicking around for the past 15 minutes, distracting myself, but if I can do it, you can do it. Let's put in as much fucking effort as we can together. I don't know why, I'm like yawning, I have like no focus right now, I'm tired. Maybe the caffeine withdrawal is still there, which maybe it's still there, but yeah, please get your pen, get your paper, draw along, because I wholeheartedly believe that all we can do, and I need your attention, all we can do is put effort, right? Put effort. So what are we doing? We're looking at a portrait reference, right? Just a face. We're putting a box over that portrait. We're putting center lines inside that box, inside every single plane. We're putting diagonal cross axis. We're putting the ellipses. We're putting, and this is all, when I say putting, I mean I'm literally visualizing all of this, right? This is what comes after fucking an hour of me mentally masturbating to the 3D simulation I'm creating in my mind, right? And I took a week break with the whole Challenge 52 thing, and now I'm back, right? But dude, I honestly, like, this is the first time I'm doing this after being decaffeinated in a very long time, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'll just have to work towards having the mental energy to doing this from my mind again properly, right? So what am I doing right now? I'm looking at the portrait reference. I'm already starting to think about the box that it's in, right? And the hardest part about this is because this woman's face is essentially like it's like we see the side of her face, right? We see the side of her face, but I don't know if the center line is straight or not, right? I'm telling you right now, today is going to be probably one of my most difficult sessions because I'm literally don't have energy, like mental energy, focus, any of that stuff. But that's, again, focus is a skill, right? And utilizing energy for focus is a skill, right? So again, really, I'm just trying to think about the box right now. I'm trying not to converge because right now my mind, as you can see, maybe from my hand, right? They're converging a bit too drastically, right? This point over here, it's converging quite drastically for the front plane, but I'm basically just trying to visualize and think about the center lines, right? The front center line, the side center lines, right? The cross axis, diagonal, vertical, horizontal, right? This is basically like the mental simulation that I'm creating in my mind, right? But what's really difficult right now, genuinely what's really difficult right now, is the fact that I have to figure out, I do think this is basically a 1-point perspective, right? Like when I look at, when I look at the face in of itself, I do believe this is a 1-point perspective where the horizon line is in the middle of her face, right? So I have to keep that in mind. Dude, my brain is like, my brain can't think today, but that's actually like perfect because it touches upon what I wanted to talk about today, which is the fact that, I don't know if anybody knows XYPHID, XYPHID, right? I'm assuming people who watch or listen to these videos or draw along with these videos will be more from the future, like years from now, right? So hopefully XYPHID is doing great and he's still uploading and he's killing it on YouTube, right? And his art goals. But I like his channel because he draws very well. He's a pretty decent draftsman in my opinion, right? Like he's also pretty obsessed with the whole drawing for imagination. I guess, like, Peter Han, Kim Jong-il, Karl Kapinski, SuperAni team, right? Just good draftsmanship, right? Like that's really all drawing for imagination is. It's just very stellar draftsmanship. So he's very into that as well, right? But I like his, and by the way, like while I'm talking, I'm thinking, I'm literally trying to visualize a 3D simulation in my mind with the box and the sphere and the center lines and all that shit, whilst, right? And also like the center planes, that's a huge part of it, right? But whilst, while trying to speak, while trying to narrate it, right? Like right now I'm trying to think about the box and I still don't know what the fucking box is. I'm telling you right now, it feels so uncomfortable, right? I feel so fucking uncomfortable. Like in my goddamn gut, I feel a pit of discomfort, right? But that's good. Like to me, that is a good thing, and that's actually funny enough, that's what SuperAni talks about, which I actually disagree with, right? Where he essentially states that, oh, drawing is painful. First of all, wrong. It's just discomfort. It's just friction. Pain is not a beneficial word, right? Like, and I'm not saying wrong as like a matter of fact, like you're a fucking idiot, you're wrong. I'm just saying like I just genuinely believe that's wrong, right? Because the second you start associating these things with terms like pain, is the second you start fighting an uphill battle because you just simply believe it to be a painful experience, right? And while I'm drawing this, I'm trying to like now I'm starting to already draw these planes, and I'm trying to think very much so about the balance, right, of this box in and of itself, like. Because it is converging, I have to make sure that this is still a perfect cube in perspective, right? And I have to make sure that it's aligned with the with the reference in and of itself, right? And while I do that, I do want to add a little bit of convergence as well, just a little bit, not too much. But this is going to be converging only on this point and that point, right? We're not, because this is not a face that's turned in any specific angle, so I don't believe I need to add any sort of convergence going upwards here. I mean, maybe I could, but I don't really see the point, right? I think the enemy got the point. Prosody. I always call him prosody reference, right? But this is good because these are angles that I struggle with. These are angles I genuinely find difficult. And again, while I'm drawing this, I'm thinking about the other plane as well, like the side of the box that you don't see. I'm really trying to think about that, right? Like seeing through the form, trying to see the planes that do not exist technically, visually, right? When we are witnessing them, right? And also trying to keep the horizon line in mind. And you can see I fucked that up. You see, because I couldn't see this because my hand was covering this, I actually fucked it up. And it's a lot lower than it should. It's like a millimeter lower than it should be, and those millimeters matter. Size does make a difference. There you go. Let's go down there. Okay, so now what am I trying to do? Well, I'm still trying to see this cross-axis, center line, cross-axis, center line, right? Now this is a bit interesting because we are still seeing a little bit of the bottom plane, but this is the beautiful part, right? Just because I'm not seeing the third visible plane because the horizon line is in the middle, doesn't mean I'm not visualizing and trying to calculate the third visible plane. And technically it's like the third and the fourth, like this bottom and top visible plane that's being seen through, right? Because that's another thing. It's like, what am I actually trying to see? Well, I'm trying to see the cross-axis here, cross-axis here, the cross-axis here. And again, this is the mental model that I'm building. This is just the first step, just seeing the box and the cross-axis, right? And on visible and invisible seen-through forms, right? And this is very difficult. So that's what's touching on is what I wanted to say, is like what Sifit talks about, because he has this video, and I think it was an Instagram reel it was an Instagram post which he took from one of his videos, which is basically the fact he says that drawing is painful, drawing is thinking, and this thinking is painful. Therefore, just do the bare minimum of that thinking that is required in order to reap the benefits of the cognitive like learning process, right? Of the effortful cognitive learning process, and then fuck around and just don't think and just like reap the benefits by like fucking around. I agree with the fact that you should spend time thinking and then you should spend time reaping the benefits of that thinking. I disagree with the ratio. The ratio should not be 20% thinking and like doing that and then 80% fucking around. It should be the absolute opposite, because that's what has resulted in this for me. In 3 years and 7 months, I don't have a visual library. I don't know how to fucking, what the fuck is this? It looks like a creature, because one of my fans on the stream was Parkit. Your boy Parkit, always commenting on my videos. Everybody give Parkit a shout out, right? But I don't have a visual library. I drew this plane by looking at a plane, and then I flipped it in my mind, and then I drew what I remembered through recall. But the only reason I could recall complexity is because I can create complexity from my mind, is because I'm building a complex 3D spatial engine in my mind, which took me 90% thinking, strenuous thinking, and 10% fucking around to see what I'm capable of, right? It's not the other way around. So I want to be very clear. And you might be thinking, well, how do I know if I'm really straining and thinking? Well, the second your mind is actively avoiding the work that you're trying to do, that is the moment. That is the moment. Like right now, my mind is actively avoiding trying to see through this form, while also trying to see this center line, this cross-axis, this diagonal, this vertical, this horizontal, diagonal, vertical, horizontal. By the way, I'm trying to see this all at the same time, right? My mind is actively avoiding trying to see this and this, like the fucking all the cross-axis and center lines here, while also seeing through the form accurately, while also thinking about the convergence here and the convergence that's off the page over here, right? Like it's. And that's the thing. These are dozens of calculations, because art is a working memory skill, right? And I think that's what Sifit misses, that it's not that it's painful. It's not that it's so fucking it's so shit and all that stuff. Objectively, art is a working memory skill. It is literally a cognitively intensive task. It is literally something that your prefrontal cortex spends excess amounts of energy that is utilized from your brain, called what is it called? Glycogen, astrocytic glycogen, right? That's your energy resource, and it's using that to create something that doesn't exist. This is inherently taxing, and this is where your progress will occur. Okay, and that is just objective. That's where your progress will occur. So I challenge you to flip that, reverse it, and be like, no, the reward is the effort. The reward is literally the effort, right? Like right now I'm struggling a lot to see the opposite ends of the plane, that like trying to see through that while also thinking about the cross axis, right? And obviously it's extremely difficult, especially for these top and bottom ones, because they're so fucking narrow, right? And I have to accurately be able to still think about this convergence, this vanishing point, and to see all of it while also calculating, right? This is like the diagonal, this diagonal going from this point to this point, diagonal going from here to here, and then this is the horizontal, and this is the vertical, right? I have to actively think about that to the best of my ability. Why do I have to think about it? Because that is how the sphere is built in here, right? We're putting a sphere inside the box as well. And the sphere is literally this, right? It is the center planes of that box, right? It is the center planes of that box. And like, this might not even make any sense, but it's this center plane, and what is it? This one. See, I'm so fucking struggling. And then this one, right? On the side. And the ellipses inside of that, right? So the ellipses inside of it, and I don't know why the pen just dies the second I try doing an example, but I'll just show it like this. It's the ellipses, and this ellipse is completely flat because it's a 1-point perspective. But it's the ellipses inside of that, right? Like this. And then where they meet, where the edges of those ellipses meet, is the sphere, right? This is not the best example because obviously it's a bit proportional. It's not a bit, it's proportionally incorrect. It's not a perfect circle. But to get to that understanding, I must see the box seen through every single fucking cross axis, vertical, horizontal, diagonal, from all the 6 sides, and then calculate the ellipse inside every single visible plane, and then project it outwards into the center plane of the planes, and then see the ellipse in there, and then calculate the edges, and actually like hold that all in my mind and calculate the fucking overall sphere. That is the mental model I'm building, and that requires excess amounts of cognitive effort, right? So that being said, please rest your brain, because resting during these excess amounts of cognitive effort, just pushing in, and then taking a step back is extremely important, right? So yes, let's rest our brains. All right, wonderful. But yeah, I agree with Sifid, the fact that thinking is what creates the skill. I completely disagree that you should minimize the thinking and maximize the not thinking, like the fucking around. Because I'm telling you right now, this is my fucking around. But this level of fidelity, or spatial reasoning, whatever the fuck you want to call this, I think this is ass, by the way. Like, I genuinely don't think, like, I really don't like how I textured this, but it's all a learning experience. So I don't have emotional really attachment to my drawings, but this is the fucking around, and you can only get to this level of skill, nothing impressive, but relatively 3-dimensional, right? But this level of skill can only be considered a fucking around baseline when you put excess amounts of effort, which every single one of you is capable of, towards building that spatial reasoning engine, right? It's the only way. It's literally the only way, right? And it's a way that you can enjoy. But oh god, I have to sneeze. Fuck. If I actually sneezed, what the fuck? If I actually sneezed, that would have been worth it. At least the build up, but instead I just made a bunch of retarded noises. So I fucking edged myself and probably really hurt your ears. But yeah, like again, what am I thinking of right now? I'm thinking about this seen through form, and this is connecting everything, because the second I'm seeing this form on the other side, I'm immediately thinking about this vanishing point. I'm immediately and I'm grinding my brain right now to see this cross axis, like this diagonal. And by the way, like most of the session is gonna just be me thinking, right? Not drawing, but drawing is thinking, like not physically drawing, but thinking about the model that I'm building, because the second I get to do that with a decent level of proficiency is when everything else clicks, and it's about holding this mental model in my mind. And again, like I'm really trying to see through the form, and now while seeing through the form, I'm gonna attempt to see the cross axis for every single one of them. This is very, 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 very difficult, right? My cognitive memory is taxed. We can only hold, what is it, like 5 to 7 plus minus 2 or some shit? Things, bless me. Bless me. Anyways, in our minds at once, right? So, and again, like I just came back from a break where I haven't done this in a week, so very difficult. And you can see I'm doing the sphere, but this sphere, I'm basing it off of this center plane, right? Because I have to also project this center plane outward, and I have to think about this ellipse, right? This ellipse, because this is the center plane. So this is the side plane, this ellipse, right? It's in the center. And how do I know it's in the center? Because when I project it outwards, it's where this center line meets, right? And then it's where this center line meets, and then they meet in the middle, right around here, because it's where this bottom plane also has a center point. So there's everything connects, and it's obviously very difficult to see what I'm saying, but that's why I'm trying to explain what I'm seeing in my mind, or what I'm attempting to see. Am I successfully seeing all of this? Absolutely fucking not, okay? The top and bottom planes are literally look like this in my mind. That's what they look like, by the way. This is what the top and bottom planes look like in my mind. And this is for this box, right? Like, and that's completely wrong, because what the fuck is this? That's not even like, that's completely inaccurate. But that's what they look like, and I'm constantly making an effort to be aware of my horizon line and my convergence. And so I can be like, no, shut the fuck up. You're like this, right? This is a slight convergence, and you're way more narrow. You're way more narrow than you think you are, right? This back plane is what's much wider, right? And no, like this is just an amazing experience, I'm not gonna lie. And again, while I've been focused on this, the opposite side of this plane over here, I haven't been able to see the opposite side of this plane, this one right here, on the back over here. Like I haven't been able to see that at all. So again, I have to keep that in mind. And when I'm trying to see that now, I haven't been able to see the cross axis, like on every single plane. And this is exactly this feeling right here where I'm extremely just so much in discomfort that my fucking eyes are getting warm. My stomach is like in this deep pit of discomfort, right? And I'm only putting my fucking hand here on this pen to like try to hold it all together. You might be like, what do you mean by that? It's like hold it all together as in like try to keep, like this is like an anchor point for where the corner of this top plane is that we can't see, right? Like it's being seen through, and I'm trying to really fucking visualize everything. I'm telling you right now, this is the part where I'm really leaning in and trying to visualize all, and when I let go, I'm trying to also hold that, right? Because I'm trying to see through every single fucking form. I'm trying to see through the form, I'm trying to see every plane, and then I'm trying to see, to the best of my ability, the cross axis, the center, vertical, horizontal, diagonal, no, center, vertical, horizontal, diagonal, right? On the bottom, the top, right? And to really fucking understand that this is just a sheer wireframe. This is just a wireframe, just completely just calculated, right? And yeah, like I don't know how else to explain it. Like I'm in extreme discomfort trying to do this. Like my mind is firing on all ends, and it feels so good. This is where the part where I'm just feeling myself to feel good, or forcing myself to feel good, because this, like I can't see anything. I can't really calculate what I'm saying I'm trying to calculate, but fuck me if I'm, oh god, my nose is so runny, Jesus Christ. But fuck me if I'm not trying. But I am trying, so please don't fuck me. That comes after the video once the lights are off. Right, so, god damn, like, and now I just started seeing the cross axis, the diagonal, and the vertical for the back plane for this. And now I'm gonna rest my brain again. I encourage you to do the same, because again, gap affects you playing it at like fucking 20 times the speed, right? Or 20 times the repetitions, whatever it is. But resting your brain after like an intense thinking bout, or just effortful bout, or just any sort of attempt full of errors, is also something that completely expedites your learning process. So please rest your brain with me. And yeah, see what? It's been 19 minutes, and all I've drawn, technically, is a box. But what I've done is consistently map a mental wireframe in my mind of every single plane and the cross-axis and calculations within those planes, right? I'm going to try to not speed it up in terms of rush it, but I am going to try to put myself under quote unquote technical time limit or pressure in the sense that I want to get 2 reps done every video, right? So this way now, the next step, because this is just the first step, which is seeing through the forms and seeing all the cross axes and everything. Like that's just the first step, right? Now the second step, right? The second step, there's 3 steps to this, is seeing the center planes, right? I have to see the center planes with the ellipses, right? This is the second step. So I have to see all the ellipses inside this now while I see these cross axes. I have to see the ellipses, and then I have to merge them. I have to see this, right? I have to see, like, if this is the box, right? I have to see this ellipse, and then this one is completely in the center, and then this ellipse, right? Something like this. Like this is the front one, right? That's the second step, because then I can, you know, through the edges, connect the edges, and then I get my perfect sphere, right? And that's the third step, and that's before I even draw any of the features. There's 3 steps of intensive I don't know why I said it like that, but intensive cognitive spatial reasoning to be had, right? It's the battle of the century, the turn of the fucking 9th inning, bada, whatever the fuck. But yeah, like I'm really, and this is extremely, I love this. I love the fucking difficulty that this gives me, because now I have to constantly see the cross axes. I have to see the diagonal, vertical, and horizontal, right? This forces me to see everything to the best of my ability, because now it's all based, these center planes and the ellipses that I'm drawing are based on these calculations, the established calculations of the first step. And again, you can see the more thinking I do, the more my speech is just constantly fucked, right? And it's not just because I'm a shit speaker, although that may be part of it, right? It's literally because my brain can only allocate so much energy and so many resources per action, right? And all my actions, all my mental cognitive efforts, right? All my working memories being taxed and all that shit is being purely directed towards my prefrontal cortex, right? And my motor cortex, right? And ghosting is a bridge between your prefrontal cortex and your motor cortex, right? So the spatial visual sketchpad, I believe it's called, that's part of what the prefrontal cortex utilizes, which is our ability to spatially reason and then apply that spatial reasoning, I guess in this context, with line, right? With actual, like, it's like you're bridging it. I don't know all the fucking science, but the point is that that's part of the prefrontal cortex, and it has a lot to do with the ability to draw and to replicate what you see in space. I don't fucking know, bro. But the point is, and again, like this box I drew could also be inaccurate. I don't know why I said box like that, but this box I drew could also be really inaccurate, guys. It was like the YouTuber voice. Hey guys, today I'm Viggy back again. I'm famming all over the floor. My mom beat the shit out of me. Right, so, let's see. But like, yeah, I'm really trying to see through the form. Jesus Christ, but you can't even take me seriously. I can't even take myself seriously. But really trying to see through the form, right? Really trying to see all the fucking cross axes. Oh, it's so fucking difficult because I haven't done it in this angle. You also have to understand, I'm doing interleaving in the technical sense that I'm changing the angle. I'm changing what I'm doing constantly, right? Like I'm always changing the angle. And we're not copying, right? I've stopped looking at the reference, by the way. I stopped looking at the reference the second I got the box down, right? And I'll only ever look at it again once it's time to put the fucking features on top of like this entire fuckery, right? But while visualizing that entire fuckery, but I've stopped looking at the reference because we are not building the ability to copy a reference. We're building the ability to create a mental model, a 3D simulation, literally a 3D model in our minds on the page, but the ability to calculate this, right? And what I'm doing right now is I'm just projecting this ellipse, putting it back out to the center part of this box, or the center plane, and then projecting it out here and trying to hold this while I also think about, and this is extremely difficult. I need to hold this, and this is just on 2 fucking axes, by the way, because these are much more difficult. These are on 3 different axes, right? Like the Z axis, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, whatever this horizontal one is, because I don't know any on the X, Y. I think this is the X-axis, right? Like this horizontal one basically is null, right? It's just a flat fucking line in this perspective because the horizon line is literally right here, and this is where the vanishing point is, that's where the vanishing point is. So like for the center here, I don't even have to think about that, but already just the fact that I have to calculate and oh my god, this is so hard. I fucking love this. And again, you'll see like that my hand went all the way over here. Why? Because I'm wrong, right? So I need to be aware of that and be like, wait, no, it stops right here because that's where the plane stops, right? Because the edge of the plane is right here. And so this is the center line. Well, how do I know that's the center line? Because I have to calculate the cross axis and be like, oh yeah, it's right around here somewhere, right? So that's the thing. It's like you're building a mental model, and I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm constantly repeating myself to let you know what I'm thinking. You need to constantly be aware of what I'm thinking, so you can also step by step break down your process of thinking as well, and like perhaps have even guidance on how you can think about these things and how much thinking is constantly involved. Like I'm constantly trying to see through this form at all times, but like right now I'm literally trying to see through the entire form, see all the visible planes, while also calculating the center plane, while like this what's it called, this side center plane, the center plane of this side and the center plane of this side, right? Like trying to see them both at the same time. And also this one, right? Even if it's null, it's still a flat line that exists, right? It's three-dimensional. It simply looks like a flat line, like one line, right? And on top of that, while I'm trying to calculate these three things converging or intersecting, I'm also trying to think about the fucking ellipses, right? And this is why I don't know if I'll be able to do more than 2 reps or more than 1 rep per session, because this is the second step and this is already, it's amazing. This is literally killing my fucking brain, right? And I don't say that to be like, oh, I'm in pain, but it's just so much friction. This is exactly what you want, right? This is exactly what you want, because you don't get good results if you're gonna be so focused on results, and I hope you aren't, but because literally the friction is the goal. Hard work is the goal, right? Like trying to really figure this shit out is the goal. You're gonna be doing this for the rest of your life. You're not just gonna get good, because the better you get, the more you realize how much better you can get, right? And the more you realize you actually don't know anything at all, right? And I'm just starting to get an inkling of that, right? Because this is what, 3 years and 7 months in? That's basically like fucking 5% of the way of my lifetime, or like 10% of the way to road to mastery, or whatever my mastery and excellence is, right? But like, yeah, like you'll never be where you want to be. And that's why where you want to be is striving, right? You just want to be putting in effort, you know? It's all a mindset. But yeah, like trying to hold these fucking 3 points together, oh my god, bro. Like I'm really struggling right now, but this is what I need. This is the part where my brain's like, no, don't do this. Like your brain, my brain, whatever we're focusing on right now, that's really difficult. It's telling you, fuck off. This is taking too much energy. Do not do this. We don't have the energy for this, and you have to be like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You make the energy, improve your neural synapses, right? Focus on your fucking error recognition and consolidation process. Like fucking do it. I'm doing this so wrong too, and you have to constantly feel good and be aware, be like, I know I'm doing this wrong, but what I'm doing right is I'm trying, because that's all that matters. Like I know right now that my brain can barely see through all the forms, see all the visible planes and invisible planes, and barely calculate all the center lines, cross-axis, and ellipses inside of it. Barely, not even fucking barely, project it outwards, and then put the ellipse there as well, and then intersect them. My brain is incapable, very barely incapable of doing that, and yet I fucking stay here for another 5 seconds, and I really try. I'm not doing any ghosting anymore. I'm just gonna stare at this. And for you, nothing's happening. But for me, bro, like I'm fucking trying to calculate this shit so fucking hard, right? And this is exactly when my brain is being like, okay, something's not working. We can't see this. We need to improve. We need to make it more efficient. And our prefrontal cortex is just grinding right now. And now we take a step back. Whew. Oh, that was hard. That was fucking. I'm coming inside my brain, of course, and on the page. But anyways, I'm gonna rest my brain. Whew, I encourage you to do the same. God damn. All right, that was great. And again, see, half an hour. It's just a box. That's all I've fucking drawn. Half an hour, right? But what have I actually drawn? Many hundreds of attempts of creating a 3D simulation in my mind, right? And I want to be very clear. I didn't feel like drawing today at all. I just had to drink some water. My smoker cough. I was like, how was your day? Yeah, but I didn't feel like drawing today at all, like literally at all. And every time I look here, by the way, I'm immediately just trying to be like, okay, cross-axis, center line, try to project it. Just same thing on the other side, same thing on the other side, same thing on the top, the bottom, or the fucking top, the bottom, right, of the planes that we can't see, right? So good, so fucking good. And while I'm doing this, I'm also now really trying to see the center plane, like genuinely. I don't know why I say really like that. I'm really trying to see the center plane. But I'm really trying to see the center plane right now. And again, like these are bad habits. You see my arm goes here. This is intuition, right? So it's like, is that where the edge of this plane is? Well, if I go here, right, if I try to project it outwards and I try to see where it's actually meeting, no, it's a little bit further to the left, or like to our left, right? And then we have to, let's see, bring it over here, bring it over here. This is the center, right? Same thing up here. that, and that's the ellipse. And that's just one thing that I'm really struggling to see, by the way. Like, I'm fucking... Dude, my brain is just in extreme discomfort because it has to see something that doesn't exist. I have to see through the entire form. I'm literally trying to create, like, what... I guess, let me be very clear as to what I'm trying to see. And it'll be more clear once you see, like, when I draw all the fucking lines. Like, this shit is basically what I'm trying to see. But you have to understand, I'm trying to see through the form, and then trying to hold that scene through form, right? Like this, like that's the other plane. Like this is basically what I'm trying to see, right? And then we have the center, and then I'm trying to see this center, these cross axes that goes to this center, right? And then on the other fucking side, same thing, that cross axis, the center. This side, same thing, right? I don't even know where the fuck it is anymore. It's like this, something like that. And then I have to fucking project this ellipse that's on the visible plane and this ellipse on the visible plane into the center, right? Let's see, like here, like these two ellipses in the center plane, and then I have to meet them, and that's where I get my sphere that's connected inside. And then on top of that is where the features go. This is, right? So it is beautifully fucky, like absolutely beautifully fucky, right? And that is exactly what I want it to be. That's literally what I want it to be. Like that is... And I'm looking back here again, and that's... I'm trying to see all that, by the way. Like, I'm trying to see this. I'm trying to see this in my mind. And this is all while not... And this is why my box has to be pretty much fucking... Like, my understanding of a box has to be even more stellar, because this is all while me not knowing... Like, hey, like, is this even a good box? Like, is this plane and this plane, like, are they in a good ratio? Like, have I created something that's seen through properly? Right? And is it relevant, and is it accurate to the portrait, right? To the actual fucking reference, right? Is it? I don't know. I tried to make it so, and I'm looking at it right now just to get, I guess, another... understanding and glimpse. I think I made it relatively decent. I don't think it's anything incredible, but I did obviously converge it a little bit more obviously than it is in the reference, because I think in the reference it's pretty much a fucking cinematic perspective, right? Which is like fucking very little convergence, but faces have convergence, right? Like her face is technically, I guess, with the lens or whatever, it's like a perfect box, but I want to add a little bit of convergence, right? And yeah, like this is, again, like I'm constantly just, right now the main thing is just to be able to see, and that's why it's like constant fucking, it's just, I'm oscillating, I'm shifting, I'm just constantly going through, being like, okay, see through the form, on the visible plane, see the center lines and the diagonal lines, right? And then on the other invisible planes, I have to think about the invisible planes, I have to constantly think about that and see their lines, right? And then now that I see their lines, I have to connect it and be like, oh, that's the center plane. Now that I see that, I'd be like, okay, wait, project the ellipse outward onto that center plane. It's like, oh wait, but now do it on the other fucking side here as well, right? And then now you got that center line. And then do it, project this outward onto here, right? And it's like, okay, but now did I lose this? Yes, I did lose this center plane with the ellipse inside of it. This one projected outward, this center plane, completely fucking lost that, right? So it's like, and how did I lose it? Because I can't hold the goddamn entire box in my mind with seen through with the center lines, right? The diagonal, horizontal, and vertical. So like, it really just comes down to this basic, not simple, not easy. Technically simple in the sense that like they're just fucking lines connecting to the corners and they create themselves, but nowhere near any sort of easy whatsoever. Like this is the type of friction, again, this level of friction is what creates this level of playing around and complexity. Like, and by the way, I'm still thinking here, but I'm thinking about different things. I'm thinking about design. Like, I'm not thinking about perspective really that much at all here, apart from like foreshortening possibly, right? And fucking the design, trying to recall and remember like the shapes that are used when it comes to mechs or whatever the fuck, right? Because obviously I'm way more into hard surface right now, which is why you can tell my organic designs are fucking garbage, let alone my organic understanding of shapes are garbage, right? But it's believable. It's not good, but it's believable, right? And the fact that I have the mental space to not think about perspective nearly as much and focus more on design, composition, line weight, fucking storytelling, all those other extremely difficult skills that do require a lot of cognitive effort, right? The reason I'm able to allocate the energy required for those things while not thinking about perspective is because I allocate all my excess energy, 90% of my practice, to this. It's all cataloged, so you're welcome, right? Use it as a roadmap, use it as a fucking inspiration, use it to jerk off, right? Use it whatever the fuck you want, but use it to understand more than anything that this is the cost of trying to be excellent. Because I don't have so much fucking ego that I think I'm excellent, but I do understand that this is the cost of trying to be excellent, right? Like this is genuinely, and again, like I'm trying to figure out what the, because the backplane has to be a wider degree, right? So I have to find this balance here as well to be like what's actually the center. And I do think this is the center, right? Because this projects outward. Yeah, there you go, right? And it is slightly wider, right? So And again, like that I'm constantly like, now it's like, okay, I'm just trying to go back to figuring out the goddamn the seen through forms and where they actually align, right? Like, and then now I'm trying to think about the center planes or the center lines and the diagonals inside those seen through forms, right? Like on the opposite end that we don't see, right? And I'm telling you, for these narrow planes, I've barely been able to see it. I don't even get the opportunity to think about them, not because I don't want to think about them, but because my brain is completely exhausted thinking about everything else, right? So this is what I yearn for. And this is what I believe everybody can and should yearn for if you want your efforts to result in the results, if you're going to be so results focused, to focus on. But again, the result is the effort, right? Like, it's just, you are only as good as how hard you tried over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours. Not today or tomorrow, but how hard you tried over hundreds of hours. This is a reflection of how hard I tried over 1,200 hours, because it's been 3 years and 7 months. I believe I've roughly been practicing maybe for like 1,100 hours, right? But this is accumulation of 1,100 hours of efforts, right? Of intentional effort, of cognitive, strenuous, intentional effort, right? So this is no more and no less than what I deserve. And this drawing in of itself, like while I was drawing it, was a reflection of the effort I was putting in on the drawing itself. So it was cumulative as well as in the moment, like what I was trying to do and the efforts I was putting in, right? So I only deserve the work I put in, and you only deserve the skills that you have based on the work you put in. And it's no more, no less than that. And that is liberating, because that means you can simply continue to work and try harder, right? And you are not limited by some bullshit called talent. You are limited by the reality called cognitive effort and consistency, which is everything you're capable of, right? Like, just constant effort. Directionally correct constant effort. I'm not gonna be like, just vibe it out. Clearly, I'm doing the complete fucking opposite of vibing, by the way, right? But anyways, now we have to move on to the next step, because it's been half an hour. I've been fucking dying. My brain is jizzing, right? So now we got seen through the box. Like, even if it's not good, right? We just have to constantly try. We got the ellipses, and now the next step, right? The next step, we got the ellipses inside the center plane. The next step is now, did we do it well? No, but the next step is now to hold these two ellipses together. My mind immediately just crashed right there. Just when I tried holding those two ellipses together, right? In that perspective, within these confined center planes, right? These, that's inside the box, right? My mind immediately just crashed. I just, even now, like, it's just crashing. But the next step, the final step, is to hold these three axes of the ellipses together. And then my mind is really fucking dying right now. Because, by the way, holding these ellipses together means that I have to see through every single form, and I have to constantly try to calculate the center lines, right? Because they have to be at the point. It has to be at the point. It has to be like this, right? This is one center plane. Let's say this is the other center plane. This is the other center plane, right? This is obviously a top-down perspective, but this point right here, this point right here, this point right here, and this point right here, right? And then this point up here and down here, right? Constantly, the ellipse, and that's a center plane too, by the way, right? That's a center plane, that's a center plane. The ellipse has to be inside of all of those, touching the edge. And then that's where and then I have to bring it all together by having the sphere be meeting where the edges are meeting for these ellipses, right? When they're intersected. So this is fucking just brain, you know how like Jimmy Neutron has a brain blast? I have a brain bumbleclot. That basically means that it just dies. So just in case you're curious, right? It's on Urban Dictionary, search it up. But it's yeah, like, oh, holy shit. So what am I thinking about right now? I'm thinking about seeing through the form. I'm thinking about really trying to think about this center plane right here, from like that's projected out from this one, right? And this center plane. Really fucking, dude, I'm trying so hard. But the second I'm doing it, boom, immediately the seen through forms just die, the center lines all die, everything dies. And then that's why I take a step back and I try to do it again. And I feel good when I keep fucking this up, right? I feel amazing when I keep fucking this up. And this is, again, like, I can only prove through my actions, but it's been 100 hours of me doing less drawing and more thinking. It's been 400 hours, technically, of every fucking session that I've recorded up until, from my 2-year point and onward, right? And everything is recorded in my playlist from years 1 to 2, all the work I did as well, right? And that's 600 hours of work, by the way. Years 1 to 2, 600 hours. Now we're in year 3. Or year 3 was like 250 hours. Year 4 is going to be another 250 hours because I draw for 5 to 7 hours a week. But I'm uploading. Well, no, my main practice is 5 hours a week, which I always upload, and you see everything. So like, yeah, it's all fucking cataloged. But it's all thinking. I do way more drawing. I do way more thinking than I do technically physical drawing. But it's like a fucking 80-20 ratio, basically, or like a 60-40 ratio at the very most, right? Very most. I said it like a man, very most, right? But now again, I'm really trying to hold this form together in my mind. I'm trying to see all the cross axes, just now, just for a second, I'm trying to calculate all of that, and then the center plane while I'm trying to hold that, but I can't. I'm trying to get the center plane down, but I can't. But I gotta get this center plane, like that's projecting outward here. Bro, I love this. This is fucking killing my mind. This is literally fucking killing my mind. But this is the level of fidelity that I am aiming to achieve. You want to be excellent? Put the fucking work in, Viggy, right? You want to be fucking good, bro? You gotta put the work in, you know? Right? And because you only have 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, you got to put the most maximum effort of the highest return on investment work that you can, right? Some of you may draw way more than me, therefore you may have the liberty of not working as hard as me mentally, right? But I don't have that liberty. And I'm showing you that you don't even need that liberty. You just need to fucking work as hard as you can, like strive as hard as you can in the moment where you are practicing, right? Your cognitive memory, it's not cognitive memory, your taxed cognitive endurance, right? Your working memory, but your working memory being constantly taxed, and your brain, when it rests during these moments after taxing it, will do the rest. And by the way, I still can barely see through the form. Like right now, I'm in output regression. Output regression is when your brain is used up, it hit that fucking ceiling of that session, of that moment, right? Of that practice, just currently, where it's hit that ceiling of the astrocytic glycogen, the energy reserves being completely used up, and it's just blank. But this is where this sheer discomfort is where learning is happening the most. Right now, I'm trying to see through the form, I'm trying to see everything. I'm trying to see the center plane, I'm trying to see the ellipse inside of it projected outward from this plane, right? Trying to see the ellipse center plane here, trying to see the center plane here, and oh god, there's a fucking pit in my stomach. But I'm trying to see this, and I'm trying to hold the intersection of these three planes together and the ellipses inside those intersections, right? Of those three planes together, right? And I'm trying to see that, and I couldn't. But it felt amazing. I'm gonna take a step back, I'm gonna rest my brain, and then I encourage you to do the same, and we'll continue. Oh, that was so fucking good, bro. I'm gonna noot everywhere, just like Pingu. Oh, wonderful. But I was gonna say something. But by the way, I don't want to say, like, the thing is, I hope you see the correlation between the level of intensity of the mental model that you're building and the time it takes before you even put down a mark, right? Like, just the amount of thinking that goes into it. If you're just drawing a box, and I'm saying just, but I completely understand it takes hundreds and thousands of repetitions to get a box down even decently well, let alone the cylinders inside the box, right? But in the beginning, let's say you are drawing the box and the line, right? You're doing the same amount of thinking, by the way. The effort hasn't changed, right? You still have to think about the convergence here, this vanishing point that's somewhere here, this vanishing point that's somewhere here, this vanishing point that's somewhere here. You still have to make sure your lines are consistent while you're visualizing it. Okay, there's three things already happening. Understand, visualize, and calculate the existence of a vanishing point at 3 different points. Or maybe if you're starting out from the super beginning, 2 different points, because you're only drawing a plane. And I say again, only, but I mean in terms of like simplicity and the basic, the rudimentary parts of the basic forms, right? Not in terms of like, it's just this and it's just that. It's all fucking difficult. I completely understand, because I put the work in. You can see it on my channel. Check out, watch every video, right? Check it out. Speak 10 times faster also, Viggy. People really understand you then. But you have to think about this line converging. You have to make sure while you're thinking about these convergences, you also ghosting the line, making sure your lines are good. You probably have shit line control, motor control, fine motor skills, whatever the fuck, right? And then you draw and you're like, oops, that's wrong. Oops, that's wrong. And you do this 50 more times, 60 more times while you're realizing and constantly just trying to make millimeter increments, right, that are better. Because your hands will not listen to your mind, but your mind is what's going to create the ability for your hands to comply through sheer effort, right? Through sheer effort. And your hands will also, you put a lot of effort in because you're still building a motor skill, right? You'll be like this. It'll be like, oh no, I fucked up. I don't know why the fuck, what am I doing? When I'm doing a goddamn example, why are my lines fucking up, bro? But when I'm drawing the thing, it's completely fine. What the fuck, right? Oh, okay, I guess I just needed to change the angle of the pen. See, I still don't know anything, but like, it'll be like this, right? You'd be like, what the fuck, man? This is my line, this is my line. But it's gonna take hundreds of repetitions to get it down. But in the beginning, you're still thinking a fuck ton about all these different attributes, right? And that's not even involving the fact that you put a cylinder or like a plane inside the box, right? Like a cylinder and a cylinder projected outward inside the box, right? That's not even counting the fact that you're putting multiple of these simple forms in the same perspective. That's not even counting that you're putting multiple of these simple forms in different positions in the same perspective, right? Like, it's just all sequential, all extremely difficult, right? So what I want to say is, think as hard as you can to the extent of the thing that you're practicing to get better at. I mean, this sounds pretty brain dead. It should be pretty fucking obvious, but it probably isn't, because Everything that's simple and brain dead doesn't have it. A lot of the times it's not obvious. It's just kind of obvious in retrospect. So let me hopefully give you that retrospect right now. Hey, he's doing some intense fucking mental mastery calculation bullshit that I don't get at all and it's giving me a headache. Cool. Give yourself the level of the headache of the thing you're focusing on, not the level of the headache of the thing you can't even fucking comprehend, right? If you understand the concept of how to draw a plane, how to draw a box, or how to put a cylinder and an ellipse inside the box, if you understand the concept, yet there's a huge discrepancy between you understanding the concept and you being able to apply it, that is where repetition and sheer intentional by the way, not fuck around, but intentional repetition will get you to bridge that gap, right? But if you don't even understand what the fuck I'm talking about, you don't need to worry about it because you just need to focus on what you're doing, which is why I say draw along, right? Because the only thing you need to understand is the fact that somebody who's working on something much more difficult than you is also struggling a fuck ton, and they're also making hundreds and thousands of mistakes, and yet they continue because they have trained themselves to enjoy the effort. And thus that means you can train yourself to enjoy the effort too by sheerly focusing on just how much you're trying, and just constantly trying to feel good when you notice mistakes, right? And then resting. That's all I can tell you. Just keep fucking going. Anyways, viggy inspiration aside, I need to fucking actually do the work because I'm just blabbering. I keep trying to say blathering instead of blabbering, but that's not a real word. Okay, so I need to, again, hold this because it's been what? 45 minutes, right? So I need to obviously draw the face at one point. But we need to hold this entire scene through form and all the cross axis and the center lines and everything. The biggest thing holding me back right now is the fact that I can't at all, by the way, my mind is the second I start doing this, extreme discomfort pit my gut, right? My fucking eyes get warm. My mind is like, no, stop doing this, it's very difficult, don't do this, we can't fucking understand this. And that's right, you can't understand it yet. You understand the concept, you know exactly what you need to do, but you can't understand it yet, right? And this pit of discomfort of just going just like a good solid 20 to 30% beyond of what you're actually capable of is where the learning happens, right? So right now I'm trying to think about this center ellipse, right? Based on my center points, you know, it's all fucking trying to calculate it, right? And this center ellipse, and then this center ellipse right here, that's just a flat line, right? Right here. And then, fuck me, like this, it's like here to here, right? Yeah. And then, okay, so like I'm trying to hold those two, and now I'm trying to make the third axis in, right? And that is where everything just died. And my eyes are warm now, holy fuck, this is amazing. Woof. But let me try that again. Take a step back. Okay, try it again, right? So again, that center ellipse, right? Trying to see that, this one here too, and then the one on the side, right? Which is on that plane. Okay, I think I kind of see it. I barely see it. By the way, the ellipse that my mind is seeing is like this. It's not, you think it's seeing anything fucking proper, bro? But now that I have solid landmarks to calculate it within, around, and against, it's like the ellipse is already there. I just need what needs to be consistent now, because before I was trying to create a perfect ellipse inside of perfect sphere. Sorry, not the ellipse. The sphere is already there, right? But it's again based on the ellipses in the center planes of each fucking plane of the box, right? Then that's why calculating intensively these center lines and the center plane and the center lines of the center planes and all that shit, right? The ellipse inside of it is actually more important than the sphere that's resting inside the box itself, because the sphere is simply a byproduct of these calculations being consistent and accurate, right? Just like your fucking box is just a byproduct of you understanding convergences and applying it accurately, right? Just like your lines are, your clean lines that go where they want are a byproduct of you understanding and being able to apply after hundreds of attempts, thousands of attempts of point A to point B, right? Or whether it's straight, curved, or in between, right? Because we accept those now. But let's see. Okay, so yeah, right now, like I see this center ellipse, it's just a line. I see this center ellipse, right? Not well, but I do see it. It's very vague, but I do see it because it's all based on, again, these calculations that are happening on the box. And then I don't see at all this center ellipse, the one that's projected outward here. This plane projected outward in the middle, projected outward in the middle here, right? And my brain, again, is an extreme output regression. My working memory is very taxed. I like to be very clear. Like, this is not a fucking wishy-washy process. This is the scientific, the actual cognitive happenings that is occurring in your brain, that is occurring in my brain. And by being an observer to my brain and being a vocal narrator to my brain as to the fact that we are simply, like what I'm doing is simply, I'm engineering spatial reasoning, right? This is not a fucking vibe process, all right? It is, we must treat ourselves as engineers, as literally cognitive engineers, and be an observer to our skills that are being actively developed and outwardly regressed during development, right? Like right now, I can't see any of the ellipses or anything anymore because this one really fucks me up, right? This side one. That's because why? Because I haven't practiced seeing this one outward at all. I've been doing only the top, bottom, and the sides. I haven't been doing this fucking z-axis projection outward at all. So that is good. It teaches me my weakness. It teaches me my failures. It teaches me that I have so much more to learn. It's beautiful, right? And then now I'm trying to see this ellipse. I'm really trying to project it outward based on whatever this ellipse is, right? And it's probably inaccurate because I feel as if it's not even wide enough, but I'm trying so hard. And I am getting far. In the end, it does always matter. Definitely in this case, right? So, and now I'm trying to see that. I just need to connect these ellipses now into one solid sphere, which is something like this. See, I can't see the sphere. I can't connect the sphere because connecting the sphere requires a consistent 3-plane and ellipses inside those plane intersection, and then going and then curving along those edges of those ellipses, right? Like meeting the ends of those ellipses, right? So that is why it is incredibly important, right? Oh, did I even put the eyes training link? Oh, I need to do that. I need to go in my old videos, like from when I started this, and put the links that I talk about, which is basically what helps me understand the box and the intersections of the sphere inside the box, right? That should make it a lot easier. It'll be linked in description. It'll be something, one link will be eyes training, another thing will be, it's like a 3D model of a box that the creator of Comfortable of Drawbox made, right? For fucking people to understand the box. Amazing resource, good on him, right? Love that guy, right? Didn't love him enough to enjoy Drawbox because Drawbox is very stale, to be honest. This is not, it doesn't apply the learnings that he does so well, but it definitely, he has done a lot for the community, so nothing but respect. And obviously what I'm saying is just my opinion, but I think definitely Drawbox has a lot of fucking flaws, right? But that doesn't mean that he hasn't done his absolute best to help the art community for free, by the way, right? Which is something I'm not going to be doing. I'm going to be fucking rationing money from every single one of you. But anyways, let me rest my brain, right? And I encourage you to do so as well. And I'm still trying to figure out a way to monetize this whole thing when I am the GOAT. But when I am the GOAT, I feel as if people will want to throw money at me either way, because they'll be like, fuck, bro, I'll give you money. I'll be like, oh, thank you so much. I am better than you. But I'm thinking courses that people don't actually have courses on, like how to draw fucking guns, how to draw things using draftsmanship principles that aren't really extensively broken down, like things like guns, weaponry, mech designs. I feel as if mech designs in general, there's so many mech designs courses, but I genuinely feel as if they are too high level, right? Like nobody really breaks it down the artwod way. And if artwod does it, great, I'll fucking do it my own way. Like I'll still fucking try to sell my own shit, bro. You think I don't want money? But I do want to, like, I'm thinking in terms of like years down the line, if I do sell courses, not if, I will, I'm gonna goddamn drain your wallets, right? Probably be like $40. That's a pretty good drainable wallet metric, right? But I do want, and by the way, I'm thinking about this entire fucking scene through form fuckery, cross-axis, center planes, ellipses inside of it, and how they converge, right? But I do want, and I'm really thinking right now, so while I'm talking, know that while I'm talking about something completely unrelated, I'm actively taxing my working memory. It's an output regression, right? But I do want, fuck man, this is so difficult, I can't even think. I can't even talk. I can think, I can't talk, but I can barely think, right? So I can only do one or the other right now. It's amazing, but I'm gonna try to do both. Yeah, but I do want it to be something that is already, that's like, you don't find that information much, right? Like we don't really find much information on how to draw guns properly. Like how do you draw guns? How do you draw this type of clothes? How do you draw this type of mechanical thing? Like how do you draw, like all these things that I think do exist, but probably miss the mark on like the actual form first approach, right? That's probably the niche I'm gonna go into. Or maybe I'll just fucking make something for everything and be like, fuck it, you know. If you like the way I'm teaching, then go ahead and give me money. If you don't like the way I'm teaching, congrats. You have like 3,000 hours where you can see exactly where I did, right? But honestly, the money shit is usually just something to hold people accountable. Because if you like, I'm paying money for artwod, and that holds me accountable to do the practice, right? But the thing is, like, if artwod was free, I'd still be doing this exact same shit, and I'd be using that information. Because for me, it's not about whether I'm paying or not. It's about, is the information there, and can I just spend my fucking next 30 years of my life applying constantly to trial and error that information, right? But anyways, I'm completely struggling. I've lost the insides of the box. I've lost all the center lines. I've lost every single plane, right? I've lost the center plane in general as well for all 3 axes, and I've lost the ellipses. And now with this extreme output regression in mind, we're gonna try applying Loomis proportions to this woman's head, right? So like I don't even and this is like a completely new angle. So this dude, it's amazing. Every time I lean into it, my head just gets like this rush where it's just like, oh dude, this is so hard. Like it's not a headache, but it's just a really warm feeling of just being like, oh, you're fucked, buddy. This is so hard, isn't it? And I'm like, yes, I am very hard, Hajj. You know, it's like, no, this is so hard. I'm like, yes, I'm very hard, Hajj. You know, it's like, okay, stop. This joke isn't funny. I can't believe you said it twice. Anyways, but yeah, like see, like you can see even my center planes in general, I'm not even able to draw them properly. If you can't see, that's fine, because I'm not expecting everybody to, you can't see what's inside my mind, which is, but that's why I'm explaining it. Be like, hey, I'm ghosting the center planes incorrectly. I can't see anything correctly, right? And I still can't see the center ellipses, right? Or the ellipses in the center planes properly. And with that, all of that in mind, I need to draw the features, right? And so I need to also recall the Loomis head. So it's like, this is the forehead, this it's like the middle is the eyebrows, and then this is the bottom is the nose, right? So it is all obviously based on kind of what I'm currently aware of. And dude, it's so hard. My brain is fucking dying because I'm trying to intersect this plane and this plane, right, to be intersected in the center plane. Oh my god. this is actually killing my mind. It's fucking amazing, right? Oh, and again, like this is actively telling my brain, dude, I'm in sheer output regression, right? But this is actively telling my brain, like, bro, buddy, you gotta do something about this, bro. You gotta do something about this, because this guy ain't learning shit. This brain ain't understanding anything, right? And that's the beautiful part. That's literally the beautiful part, right? And I do vaguely know that this may be my center. This could be completely wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm putting the eyebrows, but like I'm not trying to guess, by the way. I'm not trying to guess, but a little guesswork is occurring purely on the basis that I can't calculate everything, right? Like I literally cannot calculate everything, but let's try to, and then this is the bottom, I believe, like roughly the bottom of the sphere, right? Obviously my lines for some reason always end up going to shit right when I'm around this part, but, and again, I'm also looking at this the reference a shit ton. So honestly, like a lot of what I'm doing isn't even, this is fucking retarded nose, bro. What the fuck did I do to her nose? Jesus Christ. It's okay. It's because she's Asian. She has different features. I can't do this, right? Always blame. Okay, pro tip: when you're drawing somebody who has different features, always, and I mean at all times, blame their race, right? Because why are they born with those features? You know, it's like if I did a self-portrait, I have every right to be like, you're an ugly piece of shit, and it's because you were born Indian, right? Because I can't draw Indian features. Your nose bridge, your giant ass fucking nose bridge, can't do it, can't do it, right? If you're drawing white people, just make some joke about mayonnaise. I can't really think. There's not really many good racist jokes against white people, to be honest, apart from the fact that they're white, they're white, they're colonizers. Can we do better, please? Can we do better? How about they look and smell like Mountain Dew? How about that? Now that's a stereotype too. Why? Because the neckbeard stereotype is a white person, right? Now that's beautiful. We got ammo. But currently, I feel as if we're lacking, man. By the way, I can't fucking think at all. I can't think at all. I need to take a step back. Literally cannot think of my mental wireframe. And I'm just making some fucking retarded commentary while I'm in the process as well. Right? But anyways, let's just, already fucked our lips up too. Wonderful. But let's just, while I'm doing this, I'm just know that I can't see anything. I can't think of anything, but I'm doing my absolute fucking best to at least try to see the center lines of the plane. But just know that I can, and maybe see the ellipses. But I'm telling you, I can't see shit. My brain is output regression, and this is exactly why it's gonna take me fucking 300 to 400 hours total of practicing this, what's it called? Of practicing this mental model to really get down the, to like really get down the features. I think I actually might have made her eyebrows a bit too low, right? But anyways, there you go. Whatever. Fucking, and then this is like where her chin is, right? And this is obviously, like, I can't think of anything. The Loomis head is something I can't really keep in mind right now. Damn, she doesn't even look Asian anymore. See, how'd I do it? How'd I fuck it up? I don't know. Right? Maybe this is like what the single eyelid, double eyelid. I have no idea what any of that shit means. But let's just add the eyelids that we see. Whee. Oh no, I definitely fucked up her nose. Her nose is definitely not Asian enough, and that's because it's not wide enough. Right? I think that's what the Asian features are. Right? Like this woman looks way more white because stereotypically, I guess white people have. No, that didn't do it. They have, I guess, more narrow noses. Something about what I did here is, I mean, like, there's a million things that I did here that is completely off. There you go. But again, like, this is not the fucking point. This is not the goddamn point of the drawing at all, right? And again, like, I'm trying to see the side here. And let's see. This is the chin, and then it comes down right. There you go. And I know my lines are really bad too. Definitely did not make this woman look Asian at all. Oh, because I made her eyes way too big. There you go. The fucking stereotype holds true. Yeah, her eyes are way too big. Like, they're not properly almond shaped either, right? So there's a bunch of things I fucked up. But either way, let's just be like, ta-da, ear. Okay, so this clearly was not the point. I want to make it very clear. Okay, it's been an hour. Jesus Christ. Bro, my brain is exhausted. Yeah, you can only do like 40 to 60 minutes of intense cognitive work when it comes to at least me, personally, that I can. But this is actually what I was thinking about when I'm drawing. Like, you know, the whole like, actually, right? Is that a thing too? But I'm gonna try to make it as accurate as possible. And this is actually like, what I was trying to think about. And even this could be incorrect. This likely will be incorrect. I want to be very clear. Because obviously, this is all based on my current understanding. And current understandings are subject to changing with the currents. Much like the tides of yore, right? So what does that mean? I don't know, but shut the fuck up. See, so like, this is like the first step of the first step, which is see through the fucking form, right? See the back, the front, and you can see this is already wrong, technically, because this back plane is not as wide as this front plane, right? So like, yeah, like I've already fucked it up a decent amount, but I hope the intent is clear, right? Maybe this should have been closer. Like maybe, again, this also is probably based on the fact that my box in of itself, when I initially drew the box, is incorrect, right? But then it's like, okay, we got this, this diagonal, right, in the top plane that I'm trying to see. Am I seeing it? Probably not, but I'm trying to see. And then this horizontal, right? Same thing here. This diagonal, this. Fuck. See, my lines are so shit. This diagonal, this vertical. No, that's horizontal. Or fucking, that's vertical. This is horizontal. Right? And then that's where these connect. Right around yonder. Like right this. This is the center line on the opposite side. Right? And I'm drawing the center lines on the opposite side just so my mind is blowing up when I start. Because whenever I do it on the, when I do it afterwards, it usually gets a lot worse. But this is literally, oh, see, so like I did draw the eyebrows. Wait, I drew them too low? Yeah, what the fuck, I guess I drew them too low. Right, like, see, I can't even fucking speak, I just started slurring my words. I was trying to say, right now I cannot, and then I just end up saying, blah, 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 blah. Right, genius, Viggy. But, yeah, bro, like, this, and this is gonna start fucking giving me a headache, because I'm already getting confused on what I did, but this center of the back plane, right, and then this diagonal in the back plane, this diagonal in the back plane. Right, stop me if you've heard this before. So that's just what we can't see, right? And then what we can see is also this, right? This diagonal in the side plane. It's confusing me as well, TBH fam. This vertical, this horizontal. See, like, what the fuck? Oh, and this diagonal, this is the front plane, Jesus Christ. And then this diagonal on the front plane, this diagonal on the front plane, and the vertical, the horizontal. So that was like what I spent the first fucking half an hour just mentally masturbating over, is just trying to see this all properly, right? And then we come over the next step, right, which is this. We see this ellipse in the side plane, right? And you can see even my like goddamn hands won't listen to me. But this ellipse in the side plane, this ellipse in the front plane, right? We kind of mid ellipse, but It could definitely be a lot better. There's too much space on the top left side. But that ellipse, and then you project it outwards into this center plane, right? Fucking this one, and then like from the side, and you're like, okay, so this one right here, that center plane. This is all like obviously like this center plane in general. This one that's horizontal. That's just a line in this perspective. You'll see like obviously in this one it isn't, right? And then this one projected outwards, like so, as well. This front one, and now I have to do the fucking magical thing of and this one's technically in the center here, and the center here is like, and then I have to connect them. Like this is my sphere. You have to connect the edges of them. Like so. And that's like where my sphere is. Something like that? I can't even fucking see anymore. But that's what I'm trying to calculate. And you can see like I understood it a lot better from this angle. But well, I actually did that's wrong. I should have done it with the black pen so we can see it better. But let me actually try to think about this. Right? So this and then this one. So it's something like, and I don't know why I have so much mucus in my goddamn throat. Am I getting sick, bro? But either way, this one, and let's see, this fucking side plane, this front plane projected. So it's, yeah, something like this actually, where it's, these are connected like so. And then this is, see, I can't fucking tell what's going on, but hopefully this gives you an idea of like what the fuck kind of bullshit is he even talking about. I think that's my sphere. I could be wrong, but the sphere is basically like right like this. This is the sphere. So I actually like put it off center. I don't know, bro. I can't tell in this angle, but I tried to figure it out, and you can tell that even what I'm trying to figure out when I'm trying to show you is wrong. But what I'm trying to show you is like all the fucking things, all the thingamans, what the fuck, all the things I'm thinking about while I'm drawing. But my brain is dead. So I'm gonna rest my brain, and that's huge. So make sure to rest your brain for at least 10-15 minutes after your very strenuous practice session. And yeah, hope you tried a lot. Hope what I said makes sense in the sense that genuinely, it's just effort. And it's directionally correct effort, it's intentional effort, and it's as much effort as you can muster on the thing you're currently focusing on and trying to understand. Not what, like, again, one of my other fans, I think he's a fan, right? We watched a couple of videos, right? We talked about it. Sore Chromo. I'm calling you out, motherfucker. Not in a bad way at all. I'm just mentioning you because I think it's awesome we had a chat. But he, again, I've said this before, but he would compare his current efforts to he would compare his current efforts and what he was focusing on to my current efforts and what I was focusing on. But it's not about comparing the efforts of what we're focusing on. It's just comparing, it's not even about comparing the efforts. It's just about knowing that, hey, I can just keep putting effort in onto the thing I'm trying to figure out. And like, this is the level of effort that I am capable of, right? Like I specifically say I'm average to below average because A, I fucking am, right? And it's all cataloged to prove that I fucking am, right? So no bullshit about talents ever exists, not just for me, but anybody who actually is an artist who tries, right? But B, it's to prove that it's just about trying to figure out, right? Putting in as much effort in and enjoying to put in as much effort on the thing we're trying to figure out, right? That's really it, you know? So, again, me trying to see this cross-dimensional fuckery where, like, I'm already confused and I don't even know what, like, I really tried to figure it out and I already couldn't think. And you can tell here, like, this is a clear reflection, like, the fact that after I drew it out, that I didn't know how the sphere was actually connecting and locating is a clear indication of all the things I was telling you, which was, hey, I can't intersect the spheres, they're not staying in my mind. The sphere, not the sphere, sorry, Jesus Christ, the ellipses, bless me, of the center plane, right? Like I can't hold the center planes intersected in my mind and on the page. I can't calculate that. And I told you all this, right? Like it was a huge fucking blocker, you know, and then I couldn't like have the ellipses inside those center planes intersect and be held as well. And this lack of understanding that I did even after drawing it out is an indication that, yeah, he doesn't understand it from this angle. Wonderful, right? Interleaving, wonderful. Like the mental model breaks at this angle. What does that mean? Draw more in this angle, but like different variations, right? Like, and that now I know, like I'll do one where it's like a 3-point perspective technically, and I'll do one where that's a 2-point perspective, right? Like keep changing, obviously, the way people look or like the direction of the face, the reference that I use. But now this is like a good indicator of like he doesn't understand, I don't understand, therefore I can lean into not understanding until I do consistently try to figure out to understand. Like that's it. It's always what that is, right? So as always, I hope I gave you some inspiration, some motivation, some insemination, right? All that good shit. And with that being said, as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please,